7 Days to Die just did something that could completely change endgame based defense, the M60 turret, and that's just one of the 14 changes that make this the best the game has been in a very long time. Let me show you all of them. This is the new M60 auto turret. She is a thing of beauty. This turret is unlocked at 100 trap magazines and is crafted with these materials. Otherwise, it's pretty similar to what you know about the SMG auto turret, but this one fires 7.62, which comes with more damage and another way to get rid of some of your excess ammo. Just off the bat though, this is pretty excellent. Late game, you do end up with genuinely mountains of pretty much every ammo type, and one of the best ways to burn through it all without spending hours carting it around to all the traders to sell is to load up into your base defenses and let the turrets do some bonus DPS to keep the zombies under control. The M60 has the most potential range out of all the turrets, opening fire on enemies up to a whopping 40 meters away. That is 25% further than the maximum range of the SMG turret, and rather than firing in bursts, this bad boy will continuously unload on the target, only stopping for 2 seconds to acquire a new target once the first one is actually dead. But there's something else in 3.0 that makes turrets even better, and that's change number 2. The demolition zombie bug has been patched. Again. Yes, for the 90th time in this game's history, you can safely use the auto turrets to defend your late game bases against demolition zombies without worrying about blowing up your entire base. I look forward to it being bugged again in a month and blowing up my base, because no matter what, the fun pimps cannot seem to fully zap this bug. Speaking of zapping bugs, the drone just got an upgrade that we've been waiting for about 5 years now. Have you ever wished the drone was more than just a cargo box with the ability to occasionally heal you? Then you need one of these. Number 3, the drone stun mod. Finally, the drone can be equipped with an actual weapon in the stun mod that will allow the drone to attack zombies and finally contribute something other than being an extra backpack. It might not look like much now, but if you use this, I promise one day, this zapper will save you from something and you'll be forever in debt to your new robot friend. The drone also seems to have new voice acting if I'm not mistaken, which is pretty cool. And you know what else is cool? These new POIs. Number 4 is all the new POIs that were added to the game in 3.0. Apparently 60 of them. It goes without saying, I haven't found all of them yet, but the best ones I have found are pretty damn good. Now I know what you're thinking, Prebuilt. Every major 7 Days to Die update has new POIs and usually more than 60, and you'd be right, but the reason I think these POIs are more impactful is because they're far more unique than any set of POIs we've seen in years. Every update brings 200 POIs, but 2 or 3 of them are actually new ideas that we ever remember. They were often very repetitive feeling with the same texture combinations and shapes and silhouettes. But these new POIs are good, honestly. They felt modded to me at first. In a good way, obviously some modded POIs are terrible. There are new ideas like this garden center or this spin on the army camp idea with an under construction army camp. But what I really like is that it's filled out a lot of the industrial zones of the random gen worlds with a bunch of buildings that are actually worth going into now. Previously, the industrial section of towns were something you probably just drove through unless one of 3 POIs was there. But now we have the tier 4 service center, a new paper mill, a new coffee processing plant, a chemical center which has been converted into a bandit camp. There's even a new construction site with like 4 cement mixers in it. Oh my god, that's a lot of Forge Ahead magazines. But there's also a new army base which, while not a new concept, does actually break away from the extremely overused environment style we've had for years. This one really stands out next to the sea of identical bases we've had, and even something as simple as a farmhouse has been upgraded in 3.0 with distinct texture work and a different layout from the old farmhouses that we see over and over again. If 7 Days to Die had been this focused on making good and unique POIs instead of spamming 200 new locations with the same palettes that nobody remembers in every update, the world would be far more interesting. But while the fun pimps were building new locations, they also gave you a real reason to want the loot inside them. Number 5 is magnitude and combining, which are 2 changes covered together in the spirit of combining. First, magnitude. A massive number of items in this game just got quality levels. Your cooking pot now has levels. If you max out, you're cooking 80% faster. Your cigar has levels, and that can get you up to a 30% discount at traders. Even the drone zapper I mentioned earlier can have more damage and faster attacks. There's so much more worth picking up now. Loot runs that used to feel like collecting pointless objects you already have will now have more enjoyment for longer. But here's where it gets genuinely interesting. You can combine weapons and tools at a combine station, and here's why you would want to do that. When you look at a looted weapon, you'll see it has stats and a blue percentage next to it. That number tells you how much better this specific gun is compared to a stock version at the same level. Some weapons also have an orange star on them. That means at least one stat rolled exceptionally well. Take 2 starred level 6 tactical assault rifles, put them in the combiner, and you get one rifle with the best stats from both. Simple but powerful. But here's the part a lot of people might miss. That blue percentage doesn't care about the item's quality level. So if I take this level 1 tactical rifle, which has terrible raw damage compared to a level 6, but it has a huge percentage boost compared to another level 1, that boost will transfer onto your level 6 when you combine them. The level 1's damage is irrelevant. The percentage boost carries over, which means that grey quality low level loot you'd normally sell at the trader or scrap might be the missing piece to your perfect weapon, making loot much more interesting. But that's not the only feature you'll need the combining bench for. Number 6 is degradation. You know how when you get the best gun in 7 Days to Die, you kind of just stop looking for anything else above it or worrying about finding another one? Well, what if you needed to keep finding or crafting new ones because they didn't last forever? Sounds like heaven to hardcore players, but a nightmare to normal people. Fortunately, this feature is completely toggleable, so if you don't like the idea of this, just don't play with it. But what actually is it? Well, if we come into the sandbox options here and enable something called repair degradation, and let's set it to 25% for demonstration purposes, and then use up some durability on this gun and repair it, you'll see that nothing happens. That is because we have the noob jacket buff, which you keep until level 6. But once we get rid of that, use up the durability on this gun and repair it, you'll see once again that nothing happens. Well, stay with me. If we do that loop again, you'll see that this time my gun loses maximum durability, and the reason that the first repair didn't do anything is because every item in this game gets one free repair that doesn't damage its max durability. This is a quality of life feature because many of the guns and stuff that you loot will already be damaged, so to stop you instantly ruining the equipment you have, you get a free repair. We have this red bar on the durability bar. What does it mean? Well, now our weapon has 25% less maximum durability, and if we were to repair it again, it would go down to 50% max, and then 75, and then it'll be completely broken. So what? If we repair our guns, are we just wasting all that grinding time we spent combining guns to get the best stats? Fortunately, no. You just need to bring your beloved, slightly old and dying M60 to the combining bench and combine it with any other level 6 M60, and that will give you a new M60 that will transfer over your mods, completely restore your maximum durability, and combine the best stats of both weapons. The gun you want to repair should be in the item B slot to restore durability. I don't know why, it's just how it works. If you swap them round, you just get a continuously damaged gun. Maybe that's a bug, I don't know, but right now, put it in the item B slot, and that will allow your gun to live forever, but you will have to continuously find or craft new level 6s to keep it in the fight permanently, adding a lot more reason to actually loot and stockpile your backup parts to keep your best stuff working. Speaking of not destroying things that you've spent hours and hours building, number 7 is compatible saves. So unfortunately, I deleted all my 2.6 saves because I'm not the kind of person who usually gets attached to my world files, so I can't show you this directly, but I'm told a lot of you wanted 7 Days to Die to stop wrecking your save files with every update, so you'll be glad to know that it actually does let you play your old worlds in 3.0. Just know that some of the features like new signs and of course the POIs can't be just backported into an already generated world, but you can finally keep your world going for longer than 6 months, which is really important again for console players who don't get a choice of what version they play on. Speaking of 6 months, would you like to see the absolute best feature the Fun Pimp spent 6 months scientifically engineering to put in this game? Number 8, the bell goes dong. That's right, the bell has a sound effect when you hit it now. This is cool, and it may have caused permanent mental damage to Joodle when he heard it, but it's more than just a big dong, as much as you love those. It actually spawns zombies who come to attack you, so you can use this to farm XP and loot bags, or just have something interesting to do with your afternoon. And you can keep smacking it to spawn more and more zombies, but it does eventually cap out and stop spawning new ones, meaning you have to clear some out. This happens somewhere around 5 or 6 rings of the bell. That's right, just like yo mama, this game can handle handle about 6 dongs. Thank you, I'm here all week. Please save your applause for the end. But you know what else is often attached to a bell tower? Number 9. Clocks. Clocks can be crafted right at the start of the game using forged iron, mechanical parts, and electrical parts in your inventory, and these bad boys can be slapped onto walls. But they're not just static decorations, they actually show you the time of day, both on the clock face dynamically and as a pop-up on the screen when you get close to it. Now, why would you ever need that aside from it being a pretty neat decoration? Well, let's talk about number 10. Number 10 is a complete dedication to player immersion options. You can turn off the in-game clock and day counter, hence the clock item's presence. You can turn off the map, the compass, the location pop-ups on POIs, and a bunch of other stuff to make this game as immersive as possible. Whatever aspect of 7 Days to Die you find takes you out of the experience can probably now be toggled. You can even go as far as turning off leveling, skills, gaining health and stamina on levels, and loot stage or even game stage mechanics if you don't think it makes sense. Hell, are zombies too unimmersive for you? Boom, turn them off. I wouldn't, because, you know, that's the game, but you can. Now there's actually something else that might be hindering your immersion, and the Fun Pimps just dropped a feature that we've been asking for years. Number 11 is crosshair customization. A big complaint about this game is the unimmersive crosshairs, particularly the ones that are on screen even when you're aiming down sights or down scopes. Well, now you have absolute control over your crosshair. You can turn it off entirely, you can make melee and range share the same crosshair, or make it turn off just when you aim down sights, finally letting you actually use scopes and iron sights the way they're meant to be used. You can even change the size, color, opacity, and thickness of the crosshair. Want your crosshair to look like this abomination? You can. That's your choice in 7 Days to Die 3.0. However, if I do find out that you are using this crosshair, I'm gonna send zombies after you, and you better be worried about them because of this next change. Number 12. Zombies can be made deadlier than ever. Have you ever wished that zombies did more damage? Like, a lot more damage. In 2.6, the highest damage you could get a zombie to do is plus 150%, making regular zombies do 25 damage, which is rough for new players, but for veterans, we're kinda just used to it. But now you can push it an additional 200%, making it 30 damage, but you can push it even further. See, if you come into the entity settings and set zombie damage to 300%, and then come into the player settings and set player damage in to 300%, they multiply, making basic zombies do 90 damage per hit. But what about charged zombies, the ultimate high damage per hit zombie? Well, those do 540 damage per hit. They have enough damage to kill a level 1 player 5 times over and have a little bit extra damage left over to dent the wall behind you. And the best part of all that, you can get this damage boost on the zombies without having to turn them into bullet sponges, because now player damage and zombie damage are completely separated, allowing you to make zombies that die in 1 hit and kill you in 1 hit. Still not dangerous enough for you? Let's talk about 13. 13 is the suite of customization options that are not just there to make it more torturous for yourself or make things easier, but to change whatever you want to improve your quality of life whatever way you see fit. If you think the player is too powerful, then you can customize every single kind of damage to your exact liking. You can customize the movement and stamina mechanics. You can even turn off stamina entirely if you dislike it. Are you one of the people who thinks nerd pulling is really cheesy? Well, then you can turn strength down and disable it entirely. Want to have no inventory capacity or never have to worry about it? You can do that. Do you wish you could spawn in and not have your hand held? You can turn off the traders, turn off vending machines, quests, challenges, the 4 starting skill points, even the noob jacket. Do you want to have easy horde nights? Well, then you could turn traders open all the time on and do your horde in the traders in an invincible building. It's all up to you, even as dumb as that idea is. You can fully customize the loot that spawns, the yields of all the resource gathering methods. You can disable crafting or aspects of crafting. You can make it so that all the recipes are unlocked from the start. You can make your vehicle completely invincible to crash damage, and hell, if you want to make the screen black and white for some reason, literally knock yourself out. This removes any need to install dozens upon dozens of mods to play the game your way, and of course makes it available to console players at all to customize these features. And the nice thing about this that a lot of PC players are underplaying in my opinion is 1, you never have to go find these mods again, they are just built in, and 2, you never have to worry about these mods that you were using being out of date. You can now just always have it out of the box in this game. There are 150 new toggles and sliders to make 7 Days to Die your survival game. The piece de resistance, native, built-in enemy density and respawn timers. You can finally grab this game and say, give me all the zombies you have, and it'll actually let you. Your zombie game is finally a zombie game again. And the thing that ties this all together in a bow, number 14, savable and shareable presets. Do you want to try a different setting without losing the ones you spent an hour making? Hit the save button and give it a name, and you can come back and plug and play instantly. Watching your favorite YouTubers hyper niche challenge run and you want to copy them at home, but you don't want to manually copy 150 settings from their description to recreate it? Just get them to drop a preset code in the comments, copy it and paste it right into your very own game, and play exactly the way they do, as if the mode was built in by the fun pimps themselves. No downloads, no mods, no compatibility issues, no sketchy hosting sites, completely cross-platform, just a string of letters that points to your unique way of playing. So to recap, new weapons, new crafting depth, new ways to suffer, new ways to not suffer, a billion different combinations of settings to make sure your game plays exactly the way you want it to, plus a couple of new toys to play with. It might not be as flashy or content heavy as older updates, but I can still say that this is easily the most pleased I've been with an update to this game in half a decade. It may be small, but the percentage of things that I like about this update is like 98%, which is much higher than any update since I've started covering this game. And I think that's worth noting, even if it is a little bit underwhelming compared to what we thought 3.0 was going to be. If you enjoyed this video, we are trying to hit 100k before the end of the year, so be sure to subscribe so you're there when we do. And the next 7 Days to Die 3.0 video will be popping up on screen for you to watch right now. Check it out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.